This planet is my home.
This planet is my home. This planet is my home. Yours too.
Yet century after century,
We have treated it like a hotel room.
it's like we've always waited for someone else to clean up after us.
And because we have been waiting this long, it's a terrible mess. It's a big mess.
These views here shouldn't be taken for granted. Seriously.
So this has to change. This has to change. This has to change. I want to grow up on a better planet, not a worse one. I don't want to clean someone else's mess. Please.
Welcome to hear our presentation about Neste's data journey from scattered system silos to business-oriented, actionable information. I'm Jyrki Nurminen, Sales Director at Solita, and here today with me is Janne Nikkola from Neste. Could you, Janne, tell first a little bit about you, your role, and also some figures about the Neste for our audience?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for inviting me here. So my name is Janne Nikkola. I'm the head of data management at Neste, been there roughly 5.5 years. Responsibility areas are the global Neste Data Management and our crown jewel of Neste Data Platform, which is a provider of the single source of truth, or the building of that. Neste in few figures are what we are seeing in the slides here, but on the hardcore numbers that we are 5,800 people, not that big company in a way. We have reached 1.5 million EBITDA on last year. But the most critical thing is to say that, as you saw in the video, that we are the most in the world leading producer of sustainability aviation fuel and renewable diesel. And that is what we are talking about here also, how that business change how we start to do the digitalization in Neste.
Okay, thanks. Really impressive. Neste has been really successful, you could say, in the traditional process industry. But of course, as we heard, you have done a tremendous shift to renewable products, which need totally new ways of using digital and data services. Could you tell Jan a little bit challenges you had in the beginning of this journey?
Yeah, sure. As I said in our company also, that everyone wants to live in the top of the mountain, but it's actually the journey to live on the top of the mountain because it takes sacrifices and everything. But when we started the whole thing like 5.5 years ago, we were having a situation that our data was scattered all around. We was just finalized a huge ERP system for our renewable side. Data was in applications, databases, and of course the Google Sheets and Excels. We didn't have any kind of business architecture in place, which was really bad thing because we didn't have a traceability how our information flows in different systems and what we want to use in analytics or reporting. We didn't have a company-wide data management or governance policies, guidelines, principles was missing also. The whole thing that Neste was doing was project-driven. So every project was doing themselves, which means that it was silo working. We didn't have in kind of modern ways of talking, reporting analytics, AI platforms. There was a capability of people understanding what that means. We didn't have a central and unifying platform. We did have many platforms which was basically built by the businesses, but not as a company-wide. Our data modeling in Neste was basically a lot on the reporting side, which means that we don't have the scalability to utilize it again and again and again. And of course, as I said, the business process wasn't updated.
Yeah, okay. So, as we know that many of the organizations, they are struggling on the similar kind of problems what you just described. So, could you share more about what you have done on this journey these last years? What you have been doing?
Sure, it's not an easy thing to say because there were so many things simultaneously that we were doing. because there was a lot of building blocks missing. Basically, we started from the scratch that we had many platforms, but we didn't have a single one.
Yes.
So all started from business cases. Surprise. We have a business challenge, and I walk it through in a company and had a discussion in our renewable side or our unit, and they had a simple problem, which wasn't actually a simple problem, but it was sound like simple problem.
Yes.
And we identified that it's all the data that it's required. We noticed that business process is not up to date,
Yep.
and actually some people which are related to the process didn't even know how the process works.
Yep.
In the beginning said that this is one system thing, and when we ended it up, it was 7 to 8 different systems. Yeah. So the data was scattered all around. We couldn't have any kind of place to unify it, so we needed to have a platform. And
yes.
Once again, it's not a technical thingy, but when you introduce that we have multiple platforms that are providing or serving a single purpose, but you don't have the common way. So we needed to also invest on a platform. And what it means that we are missing developer guidelines,
yep.
methodologies, also tooling to handle, let's say, a data ops in
yep.
that sense.
Yep.
And so it was a kind of many lanes simultaneously. And then, of course, you need to have the support from the top executives. So we started 3.5 years ago, kind of strategic spearheading Neste,
yep.
which was a digital and data-driven Neste, which is now kind of transformed something else.
Yep.
And so also from the development side, when we started the whole thing, as I told that the business process wasn't working that well, we also introduced the business architecture, so information architecture. That process, you have something moving from A to B, and then you have an information which moves there. So that's the verb, what happens. And it will give a traceability much better, and business actually understand what's happening and what's moving. And our responsibility was also to have those blueprints of how the process and information works. But that's just a blueprint. Yeah. But how you laminate that to the physical world, where you have the platform and the applications which actually represent with the data that do this match.
Yes.
And it was a challenge, and it still is. It's never ready, ongoing. You could have a change in a process and so forth. So that was kind of a multi thingy all the time. And of course, one of the biggest thing was the data governance. Or you could have a project or process. You have a corporate governance missing. So that was also what we invented, to have a kind of principles. And we didn't want to talk about data stewards or anything. Yeah. We have people that are acting kind of those roles. It's not a theoretical world, so it's a real world. So if you're an analyst, you are kind of a user of the data. If you're using application in a trading side, you're a data producer. Somebody needs to own, and how these rules for all come up as a game that everybody works together and they know what is my responsibility and accountability.
Yeah. So you could say that the journey has been so that it's in all the levels you have been like taking people involved and building them the capabilities also and understanding, and then building the new ways of working.
Yes, top down, bottom up.
Yes. That's really interesting. So, of course, you described really well that what you have been doing in this journey last couple of years. So, but could you point out that what kind of opportunities this journey has brought you and will bring in the future for the Neste?
Well, opportunities for Neste, of course, the whole thing is that our journey has been a transformation from scattered silos to this kind of unified, business-driven foundation by heavily focusing on the business architecture. Yeah. It's something that mostly people and companies forget, that you need to have the business architecture. Yep. It's not just about data or technical architecture. Yep. It's a combining of both, but I would say the business architecture is the key, because it also gives more understanding for the business people what we have, how it moves, and if there's something right or wrong. Oh, yeah. Also, building a company-wide data processes is still ongoing, but it's a massive task. And one thing is that when somebody or someone start this kind of a journey,
Yep.
What is usually they don't understand what is the time length.
Yeah.
It's never ending, but if you start in a big global company that, hey, let's have a data management and all this in place, it doesn't happen in 1 year.
Yeah.
It takes several years. And of course, you can have the angle of speed, how much you get kind of sponsors from different side of the company, but also the top executive needs to be involved.
Yeah.
Of course, that is crucial. But that was, of course, one of our biggest strengths, that our executives like, hey, we need to put the basic rights in place.
Yeah.
And well, then the platform itself, it's what we decided that it's what we communicated also, that it needs to ensure the uniqueness, consistency, and scalability. So it needs to be resilient and robust.
Yeah.
To have the power on automation on development, because it's impossible to scale your internal or external consultants. You need to automate as much as you can to reduce costs, but also to have an effective platform. For business as we're doing, to have a smarter business decisions and simulations that they can do. It's not if we have the nicest tool and gadget there, but nobody uses it, so useless.
Yep.
So it also means that the one thing is that our business key stakeholders and business process owners, they need to have availability and understanding of what is in our businesses that is coming out of that platform. That they can plan their metrics. If they can't plan the metrics, how can we then help them to ensure that the data quality is in place? You need to follow the delta.
Yeah. So, but okay, thanks. How do you see that? What are the most important lessons for you or Neste as an organization? And many of the companies, they are thinking about how to really make the data useful information for the business.
Yeah, so some kind of key takeaways.
Yeah,
if I would sum it up in few, I would say that it needs to, of course, to have a business-centric approach. I hope that everybody thinks that it needs to have a business challenge, case, anything that you start on.
Yep.
And you need to do it for the business. Otherwise, it's just a nice technical thingy to do. So if it's the kind of basic question, what is the basic of business challenge we are kind of trying to solve?
Yep.
If we don't get like kind of clear answer to it, then we can also challenge it a little bit, but that is the kind of core.
Yeah.
We need to have let's say, we have a problem with our invoices canceling.
Yep.
Okay, what is the problem? Well, this and that and that. Okay, let's start to investigate. And it's not that unicorns like data-related people comes in and solve it. No, it's a kind of unified working. You need to have the business people, process people, IT, data people. So it's a big matrix that moving around. Then, of course, the architectural alignment is critical. So when every time businesses are planning their projects, there should be a existing kind of, you have a business runway where you have your projects and ideas, but most what I have seen that companies are missing is the architectural runway. It's about the control. So if we are doing some project that are said that this business case is really good to move forward, but if we don't have the architectural capability existing, so we need to know what is the delta that they are trying to change. So that is one thing. So they go in hand, because if the project just goes and we found out that, well, we don't have actually this application is not as it should be, or we are missing the integration, so there comes a hiccups. So it's kind of a measuring the maturity of the project to even start. Then, as I said, data quality is a key to anything, even to the new hypes of AI, Gen AI. It's if you don't have process metrics in place, so what we are measuring, how do we say that the quality is right? Or it's never perfect, but even coming to 99.999 kind of situation. Then you need to have clear processes also in the data area and playbooks. So how do we set the house rules that it's also controllable? Then the tools. This is a hot topic. Even though that I hate to say any kind of logos, what you need or what did you have. But in our starting point, it was that multiple platforms, multiple logos. But then if we decided that our methodology of building the kind of data automation things, we are missing still tools for that.
Yeah.
And that was critical to have the investment for not the kind of near but the longer time, that implementing different kind of automation tools will actually in future decrease the amount that we need to use consultants or even internal people.
Yeah.
And collaboration and communication. So it's something that I have done and with my team, and this is never a one-man show. It's a team effort, and it's something that I notice that I lack sometimes, that, I have forgot once again to communicate. And when I go and communicate, or my team members or somebody else goes and say that peace will come once again on the floor, that it is something that we forget.
Okay, thank you, Janne. Your journey has been really interesting, and I have to say that you have achieved remarkable results, and it has been nice to be a part of this journey. Thank you also for our audience for listening. If you have any questions, please post them to the chat. And of course, you are more than welcome to contact Janne or me directly. Thanks and bye.
Thank you.